All right. Welcome,
Right.
everybody.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
ladies.
Hello.
So glad to see you guys again. So, welcome, everybody, to the AM affirmation space, whether it's AM for you, afternoon, evening, midnight, whatever time of the day that you are listening to this episode, we want to welcome you to the AM
Hi,
affirmation
everyone.
space. Listen, we're calling all of our audience affirmers because the foundation of what we do here is affirmations, right? We speak
Yes.
nicely to ourselves. So with our audience, we're calling you affirmers. So anytime you hear either of us say affirmers, we're talking to you. Keep that in mind, okay? So thank you for listening in. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, I don't forgot which way to point. That's it. If you haven't
There you go.
already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, okay? Because we want to make sure you get those notifications, turn them on, that you know when new episodes are up. We are uploading our episodes on a quicker pace now. You know, we had to get a groove for what we're doing. So we're now adding our episodes even sooner. So you will have a plethora of episodes to select from, right? Because we plan on being here and
Yes.
our audience growing. So make sure you're sharing, make sure you're liking, leave comments if you wish, even on our
Right.
YouTube page, so you can tell us what you're thinking about what we're presenting here. My counterparts, Miss Marcy, also known as Miss Marcy Moments on Facebook, and she's also our in-house mental health advocate. And then, of course, Miss Clivia. I call her the chosen one. Her story with Clivia. Listen, follow all of us. Myself, I am known as the Affirmation Whisperer. Make sure you're following us because individually we are doing things separately, but collectively we come to this space, AM Affirmation Space, to share our hearts with you. And of all things, if nothing else, we're going to share some affirmations with you. So, with that being said, our topic today is resilience, bouncing back stronger. We had an episode on trauma, right? And the impact of trauma on our lives. And I just thought how appropriate for us also to have an episode on resilience, bouncing
Yes.
back even stronger. Think about that. So, listening
Hmm.
to some of our previous episodes, we've talked about overcoming things, conquering things, surviving things. So, when you've gone through that process of conquering, overcoming, and surviving, you're at a point to bounce back. That resilience has been increased in you because now you've learned some lessons. And Miss
Hmm.
Marcy talked about in an episode of how we have to forgive ourselves. We've
Yes.
forgiven ourselves and we've forgiven others, right? So now, and we know it ain't about them, it's all about us, right? It's all about us. So therefore, now we have done the work. And y'all,
Yes.
progress requires work.
Yes.
How
Yes.
Progress,
about we're doing the work because it's ongoing.
it
So
It,
you
is
yeah.
never stop healing. You never stop learning. So we're doing
correct.
the work.
Correct.
I love
We are
that. Doing the
doing,
work.
thank you for that correction. Thank you for putting me back in line, Miss Marcia, because that is so
That's what we're
correct.
here for.
Because listen, just when you think you got something down pat, something else is unearthed,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh,
Something
yeah.
else is unearthed. Like, wait, I thought I took care of that. But there's so many levels. Like when something heals, initially it has a nice little skin over it, thin
Hmm.
skin over it,
Hmm.
then it gets a little thicker, then a little thicker, but it don't take too much to re-injure yourself in that
Oh,
same
yeah.
spot because it's
Open up.
vulnerable. Same
Yeah.
thing with our soul, with our spirits. We've
Yeah.
been vulnerable, so it's not too hard to re-injure that, right? But if we continue doing the work, that area becomes even more reinforced and we become even more resilient. So that's our
Hmm.
topic today, bouncing back. What does that look like? For me, I talked about in an episode where I was released from a job, an 18-year career. What does bouncing back from that look like for me? I was married to the same man twice. And the last time I said, that's it. We're not doing that again, right? What does bouncing back like from that looks like? And I'll
Yeah.
address both of those briefly. For me, let's take the latter one first. Bouncing back from a twice failed marriage. I'd say, okay, what's going on here with you, girl? Never mind him, because everybody got their own their piece of the pie, right?
Hmm.
What's going on with you? So stepping back from that and doing some self-assessing, I had to own my naiveness. I had to own my immaturity. I had to own that I didn't know what I thought I knew, right?
Hmm.
I had to own those things that I probably should have been taught as a teenager growing up that I was not taught. My mom didn't know what she didn't know, so she couldn't share with me the things that I now know would have made me a better woman and thereby a better wife. I
Mm-hmm.
took ownership of that. And where else did I need to be healed? Even prior to going into the marriage, where else did I need to be healed? With being released from that job, forgiving myself for thinking I did something wrong when more than likely I didn't do anything wrong, and now finding my way to what my next is. I didn't have a vision
Yes.
for what my next is when everything first happened. Now, being
Right.
a few months into it, I am now looking for my next and being selective about it too. I'm not just going to accept the first thing that come about. I'm being
Right.
choosy about my next because now my resilience has been fortified. It has been increased because I see the possibilities now. And I
Mm-hmm.
think in our recovering, because we never stop recovering, right? It's a process that we
Mm-hmm.
start to see. You know that song say, "I can see clearly now the rain
Yes.
is gone." Right? I can see clearer now. I can see my way through the
Yeah.
fog that had come down on me because of whatever experience. So my bounce back, right? My bounce back game, if you will, is even much more enforced now. I got game for sure now, right? I'm not just jumping into a relationship to say that I'm in a relationship. I'm much
Right.
more thoughtful about what I do and what I'm looking for, doing the vetting of that person. And hopefully they're doing the vetting of me to make sure when I go into my next, as far as a career, is it going to be with an employer and am I going to be the employer? Which one
Right.
shall it be? And of course,
Right.
I'm relying on my source, which is God. I'm relying on direction from God on where to go, how to go, when to go. And I'm sure Miss Cliffy gonna have some scriptures for us, right? Because that's our Bible thumper right
Yes.
there. She's gonna have
Yes.
some scripture for us. But literally and seriously, your resilience is already within us, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it needs some attention. We need
Yeah.
to firm it up. We need to strengthen it up by tapping into what we already have and
Right.
understanding we're not short of anything. We may experience some things that make us feel like our emotions just blow up in us, especially some of us, most of us women, right? Our emotions are our guiding light when not necessarily it should be that way. Because
Right.
sometimes our emotions can lead us astray. But when we look tap in, we really tap in spiritually.
Yeah.
Whatever your faith walk is, when you tap in spiritually, that's where you can find that guiding light.
Yeah.
That's when you can step back and take a breath with your whole being. Say
Yeah.
to yourself, I got this, right?
Yes.
With your whole being to take that breath. Because that's what I did. Just step back and take a whole breath with my entire being. And then
Yes.
say to myself, I got this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what tomorrow gonna look like, but today I
Yes.
got this.
Yeah.
Today, I look forward to what's next in this day. I ask, what shall I do this day? How can I serve someone else today?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because my resilience, I got this. Did I get here to this point easily? Do not be deceived. I did
Not at
not.
all. Yeah.
Because I can speak so easily about it right now, don't be deceived because I did not get here overnight. And
Right.
sometimes, every now and again, something will come up. Like I got a rejection email today of something that I really was looking forward to having an opportunity. But you know what I said? That just leaves me available for what really is my yes,
Yes.
right? So it's a perspective and understanding that because in this time of me going in a different direction, that I've got to be choicy, just like they're being choicy, I got to be choicy,
Right.
right? I got to be
Yeah.
choicy. Got a letter from somebody saying, "Oh, we got your information from the job site." My first thought was, "What job site did you get my information from? Which one?" Because they got
Right.
scammers of all kinds out there, right? No matter your
Right.
situation, they got scammers. So even in relationships, people hitting you up in your DM saying, "Hey, beautiful." Which one?
Right.
What you want? Who are you?
What you
Get out of
want?
here with that crazy, right? Keep it moving, sir. But now,
Little
occasionally,
bot.
women do find real love on these waves, and I love that for them to have
Yeah.
experience. But my point is, because of my experiences, I have wisdom now to tap into. I have understanding. So with all that, to now make even some better decisions for myself, my resilience, my bouncing back is much stronger. So now I'm going to
Yes.
pass it on to Miss Marcy, or is it Miss Clivia? I always get this mixed up. Whoever is next, y'all, come on now.
Miss Cleary, because she gonna give us the scripture.
Oh, that's true.
She's gonna
Oh,
give
y'all
us
say
what
that with such
Listen, cheers to the
Lord.
scriptures.
oh, cheers to the scripture. Amen.
What did Jesus do? Turn the water into wine.
Wine.
Well,
And
not
you
right
know,
now.
right
But
now,
it's
He
water.
has
It's
done
water.
that.
yeah, right now it's just water.
It's water. All right. So I do have three very, very, very encouraging scriptures. And, the word definitely for me helps me bounce back from any situation, anything I face. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's Isaiah, and I should have been showing that so you can follow. That's Isaiah 41, verse 10. Then there's though the righteous fall 7 times. I remember we did an episode on forgiveness 7 times, 70 times 7. But if the righteous fall 7 times, they
Yes.
rise again, right?
Yes.
Rise again, stay there. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength.
Yes.
Isaiah 40, verse 30 through 31. And, for me, that these scriptures, and even I know there's a ton more, definitely brings me just consolation. Like, there's hope.
Yeah.
And my hope is not just on me, but on that source, as Karan said, that foundation. So whatever I face, I know I'm not going to stay there. Even if I'm staying there for a day, I know the best is yet to come. I know this too will pass. Example of, again, even as a young child, accepting the Lord at age 7, and then baptizing at 8, I've always walked with the Lord. And even as a teen, I always questioned, well, why did he die for me? What sin do I have? Or what would I ever go through? Because now I'm 18, now I'm 19. So I always question, like, what will be my testimony? And then here I am. I was married at 25, went through that marriage 7 years, and I was able, even during the separation in 2017, okay, so working in healthcare was not a goal for me. I wanted to be a business owner from the time I left high school and everything I studied. But in 2008, I had a job opportunity at a hospital, because at that time I had just finished college in '07, and I needed a job to, I would say, support myself even though I was at home. And I stayed for 11 plus years at that job. Same position, was never promoted. And I got married while I was there, had 2 children while I was there. And I would say I was comfortable there. Like Karan shared in another episode, where she had this job for such a long time and then having to understand life. I didn't want to understand life. I wanted to just be there because I know, you know what? This is working out for me. My coverage is good. Children are taken care of. And things started to happen. So in 2017, when things got rocky, I didn't want to put off going back to school because, again, not being able to get promoted, I'm like, okay, maybe they don't see my worth, even though I know my worth. Let me go back to school. And I went back and got my master's during a divorce. Some people could never do that, and ended up being a single parent at the time of my completion of that degree. And I never gave up. Every day I had papers, not every day, but every week I had 2 papers to submit. And I was pushing and going through in silence, and adjusting to becoming co-parenting and all the works. And in 2018, I purposely flew to Colorado with my mom and my sibling, and I walked across that stage so proud, because I'm like, regardless of what I'm going through, I'm going to do this because I deserve this, and nothing or no situation is going to stop me. So although I maybe I fell, and again, people would see me and think, oh wow, she got it together. I don't. But I know who I am and whose I am. And I know that the race is not for the swift nor the strong, but it's for those who endure to the end. So I was able to bounce back. And I mean, look at me now, 7 years later, and I'm still standing. right? Life is not
Yeah.
perfect, but I'm still standing
Yes.
and I'm walking in my purpose. Look at me on a screen. Who would have thought? I was always the behind the scene person. Like I'll be
Me
the
too.
one, exactly. And here I am. So I just
Yes.
know that we go through
Mm-hmm.
those things, but it's to make us stronger and
Yes.
better and bolder and to be able to speak to our affirmers and those who would find us randomly. It's not by
Mm-hmm.
random, it's by favor. So definitely my encouragement is to keep going regardless of the situation because the best is yet to come for sure.
Love
For
it.
sure, for
Love
sure.
it.
I definitely love the
Marcy.
resilience. I love the stories because of the simple fact it just gives me more hope. It the resilience and the bounce back. It just reminds me. Recently, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we. I was saying that I had to contact my future ex husband for something, and they were like, "Why are you talking to them?" I said, "You know what? It doesn't bother me. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't bother me. As much as it devastated it. I died, but I came back. But
Right.
now, when I talk to him, because guess what? I understood the
The
assignment.
assignments.
I
Yes.
had to go through hell. I had to be broken. I had to be crushed in
Yes.
order
Mm-hmm.
to speak today with the confidence and glow in my radiance. So when I speak to my ex, because I spoke to him one day, and he said, "How you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm well." He said, "It sounds like it." Yes, I
For
did.
sure.
Because let you know, um even though you didn't mean to do what you did, but it was done. But now I understand. I
Yeah.
thank you for the
Yeah.
Yes.
brokenness,
Yeah.
because
Right.
at now, for the brokenness that I had to endure, when we say bounce back,
Mm-hmm.
baby,
Yes. Bounce back game. Yes.
my bounce back game is so vicious. And
Yes.
I'm loving where I am today.
Yeah.
And with that said, here are is well, it's 10, but I'm gonna add an extra one. Just a few things to help you bounce back. Shift your perspective. Set
Mm-hmm.
small goals and achievable goals. Don't go saying you're gonna lose 200 pounds because you're lying. Build a support system. Practice self care. Cultivate a growth mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Practice mindfulness and emotional awareness.
Mm-hmm.
That's a show in
I
That's
itself.
a
love
good one.
those.
Yes. Yes.
Stay
Exactly. Write that down.
flexible. Yeah,
Yep.
okay, I will. Stay flexible and open minded.
Yeah.
Build problem solving skills.
Yes.
Learn from your past
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. You just heard
Yes.
us.
Yes.
It was bad, now it's not.
Right.
And then practice gratitude. So
Ooh, that's
it's
good.
10, but I want to add another one. Move that body.
Oh,
I love that.
Move
that
that
body. Yes.
body.
Yes.
Body. You don't have to have knees like Megan. Well, I got knees like Megan, but they're Meghan Markle. Um, but move your body, because that flushes it helps flushes out some of the hurt, the
Mm,
headaches,
Yes.
the
yes.
anxiety, the depression. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
that's my
good.
take on my bounce back.
Miss
I
Marcy,
love that.
are you so radiant because of that belly dancing class that you take?
Hey.
Yes, because one day I was extremely heavy, and I went in there, and our thing is leave it on the floor, dance it out on
I
the
love it.
floor.
Mhm.
I
And
love
when
that.
you leave,
Yeah.
it's not attached to you anymore.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yes. I love
That's
that.
lovely. Miss Clivia, you going to go ahead and pick that up?
Yeah, I love the part where you said move your body. Even thinking back, I had a dance camp and that was one of my outlets just to
Mhm.
set
Yes.
free because
Yes.
again, people can preach, they can sing, they can do different things, but that was
Yeah.
one of my where I found my strength.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing,
Mm-hmm.
dancing, dancing. So I love that you mentioned move your body. Like that's really really
Yeah.
encouraging. And
It
I wanted
is.
to also share even I mean again earning that masters in public administration. Now I'm in a role where it's recognized, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm now a publisher, helping others publish their dreams. And God has just opened so many doors. And like you mentioned, we went through these things for such a time as this, because if I was still in that marriage, I don't think I would have been able to be
Yeah.
as free and flexible to do all these things. So it was God, I honestly believe, just making room for what was to come. And again, we're not promoting divorce, but
Right.
because it happened,
Right.
we
Mm-hmm.
understand that with that
Exactly.
resilience and with that whole bounce back, we accept what's to come, right? So I just
Exactly.
wanted to share that sometimes we need room to walk in our purpose.
And I'm glad you said that we're not advocating divorce. And although we individually are very happy where we are, we're getting happier because we're healing. But I bet you every one of us would have preferred to stay in a healthy marriage as
For sure.
opposed to
Healthy,
divorce,
For
right?
sure.
healthy
A
marriage.
Healthy.
healthy
Yes.
marriage, right?
Healthy. Yeah.
Now it takes two, because when you're having a little challenge, it takes two to want to work through it, because you can't
Definitely.
work through it solo, right? So there are
Right.
many factors, outliers that go along with this. So we don't advocate divorce. We happen to have experienced it. And as I just said, we would have preferred to stay in a healthy marriage. For us, and maybe some of you others, it worked out where you did get a divorce. But for those of you that
Mm-hmm.
are still married and you're working towards it, yeah, share some of those tips as well with us. So you never know.
Exactly.
We may have a show on being married, because we all do have a desire to be married again. I
That's
know I
right.
do. I know Ms.
Because
Marcy
I
I
does.
do
am a
too.
wife.
Right?
There you
I am a
go.
Oh,
wife.
We all are.
okay, okay. Let me speak to that for a minute. Talk about
Speak
being
on
bounce back game.
it.
I was at a workshop this weekend, really quick, and the speaker that was there asked the audience, because it was predominantly women, how many here want to be a wife?
Mm.
And y'all, I know y'all already know what the answer should have been, right? But a lot of them were saying, me. She said, ladies, I'm disappointed in you. And everybody was
Mm.
perplexed. Like, why would you be disappointed? We just said, yes, we want to be a wife.
Yeah,
She said, you should already be a wife.
that's
You should
right.
be walking in the energy of being a wife. You
I
should
love that.
exude wifey material when you walk
Mm-hmm.
in a space. And so, Miss Marcy, you said a thing there. I'm already a
I'm
wife.
already a
That's
wife.
right.
Already a wife, right? And that's a
Yes.
listen. We're gonna have to pick that up on another episode, y'all, because we
Yes, because
try to keep
yeah.
our time, not go too long winded. But I want to say this though: your bounce back game is completely in your control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's in your control. Your recovery, your
Yeah,
healing is completely in your control. It's something you have to desire.
that's right.
No one can give it to you, even with us sitting here sharing our story. Even if we
Mm-hmm.
gave you play for play what we did, you have to desire it more than we desire it for you. Because
Yes.
when you desire something, you desire those beautiful pair of shoes, Miss Marcy, you find a way to go get them, don't you?
How
Yes,
about
Uh-huh.
Lord.
it?
Yes, Lord.
Right,
I
Miss
was
Clivia,
I'm
when
not,
we find a
I'm not gonna tell
workshop
you
that
all
we
my
may want
secrets.
to attend, we find a way to make it happen because
For
we
sure.
desire that, right? So
Yeah.
when it comes to your bounce back game, you have to desire it more than anything else, because
Yes.
with desire comes action. With
Yes.
action comes results. And then you
Yeah.
start to walk that thing out, like Miss Marcy said, she's walking in her radiance because she
Yes.
understands what she had to go through. And now that she's going through it,
Mm-hmm.
healing through it, she can just
Mm-hmm.
exude all of her glory, right?
Yes.
But she had
Yes.
to do the work first.
Yeah.
We continue to do the work. And we want to echo that statement over and over, that you have to be willing to continue to do the work to
Do the
get to
work.
where it
Yeah.
is that you desire.
Daily.
Yeah.
Daily.
So we got some affirmations to share. So Miss Marcy, I think you up first.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see if I have it
So,
right. Yes.
so my affirmation for the bounce back is I trust in my ability to rise again. Forfeiting by forfeiting
Fortified.
fortified. I'm sorry. Fortified by my experience and my newfounded wisdom. That wasn't mine, was it?
It sure wasn't. That was
Oh,
Karon's.
she's like,
She's like, those not my words.
Familiar.
I was like,
That's why
that's
you
not
didn't
the
know it, but
one.
I'll read it. I trust in my ability to rise again. This should be the blooper section, y'all. I
Right.
trusted my ability to rise again. I'm like, that looks so familiar. Fortified by my experience and newfound wisdom. Because as I said earlier, as you heal, you get wisdom. So I am fortified. We are fortified by our newfound wisdom.
That's
There
right.
you
I
go.
love that.
This is this is definitely going in our bloopers.
Yes, it is.
So I have the courage to rise, the wisdom to grow, and the power to thrive. Setbacks are stepping stones on my journey to greatness. I am bouncing back stronger, wiser, and more determined. Yes, that one was familiar.
I love it. And here's mine. I have proven again and again that I am strong and capable of far more than I realize.
Ooh, that's
And I'm
good.
walking in it. Amen.
Yes.
I say, oh,
Ashe,
yes.
Ashe, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
So, ladies, another amazing episode, right? Another
Yes.
amazing
Yes.
episode.
Bounce
I
back.
hope you guys, right? Bounce back. I hope our affirmers enjoyed this as much as we did recording it, because literally we are tapping into our experiences and sharing it with
Yes.
you and the things that we're still working on. As we said earlier, we're not done. It's not a one and done. Nothing in recovery, nothing in healing, nothing
Mm-hmm.
in bouncing back is a one and done. It's continual. So
Yes.
as we continue this journey of our own and collectively, we come here to share it with you. Share the affirmations that help us to remain rooted, right? And I also want to say for the Christians that are out there, understand that those scriptures that Miss Clivia shares, guess
The
what?
affirmations.
Those are affirmations too. Okay. So we're giving
Exactly.
you two forms of affirmations, those that
Exactly.
are coming straight from what we call our sword, the
Mm-hmm.
Bible, and
Mm-hmm.
those that come from our spirit, those that we
Yeah.
share with you. So affirming is anytime you can speak well about yourself, speak well
Yes.
to yourself, speak well
Yes.
about your situation, reminding
Yes.
yourself that you have it within you to do all that it is that you are to do, and
Yes.
believing in what you're saying. That's what
Yes.
affirmations are all about. Speaking those words, speak those things that aren't as if they are until I add this piece, they are, right?
Yes. Yes.
So speaking nicely to yourselves. Ladies, it's been another amazing episode. And thank you though for those who are here,
Yes.
And the last thing I'm going to say, can we say it together?
Yes.
You
Yes. You
are
are
your
your
first
first
priority.
priority.
Right.
So
So
What, Miss Marcy?
act
act
like
like
it.
it.
Like it.
Act
Exactly.
like it.
Exactly. So with that being said, everybody, thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, turn those
Yes.
notifications, like, and leave comments for us so we know what you
Yes,
got to say
please.
about our shows. Okay.
Let's
Until next
converse.
time, peace and blessings to you all. And remember, you are your first priority. Act
So
like it.
act like
See you
it.
next
All
time. Bye, everybody.
right.